James Wang, investor, technologist, writer, and yes, now author as well. And I wrote What You Need to Know About AI, a guide to being human in an artificially intelligent world. The idea was I just found very few good resources out there for folks who were asking what's going on with all this AI stuff. Is it Skynet? Is it going to kill us all? Is it going to take everyone's job? Things like that. And there was no real good place I could direct people to. Lots of newsletters were pretty good, but they're all for fairly technical audiences. And most of the books that were already published were quite, the book process was great. It's been really exciting. For me, I actually had a Substack before. So a lot of these thoughts were actually on the Substack, but it's quite a different muscle to flex to try to write it all into a book. And it was definitely a great experience to be able to put it all together. And again, why weave together that argument from beginning to end. Don't worry too much about your first draft. The way that I have said it to folks later is think about it this way. It's like your entire manuscript's kind of like a Jenga tower. I promise you, you will not be able to fix a single part of it at the beginning and then not need to basically fix it all throughout the entire damn thing. In that case, don't worry about the first draft being terrible, because I promise you, you'll rewrite the book 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, something like that. Don't be too precious about the first manuscript. Essentially, I trashed most everything and rearranged everything at the end. For me, just the background is, again, I write a newsletter, not a big deal, especially for the monumental task of writing a book, right? As it turns out, I said, ultimately each word is actually way more because ultimately you revise a ton of times. And again, Jenga Tower, you can't fix a part of it because the reader reads it from beginning to end. You don't get to basically like use Lego blocks to stick it all together and then basically hope that it reads as a coherent narrative. You actually do need to trail the thread throughout. The thing for me though, is I realized that was very different and then got very perfectionist about trying to make it all fit together as the thing was developing. Things will get reshuffled, things will change. You'll need to say more things. You'll need to add hooks that don't make sense now here, whereas you have to move it around. Yeah, I think I just go back to a central theme. It's been great so far. It's been able to help because I do investments and stuff. And as a whole, I know a lot of folks in the program do coaching in terms of investments. The minimum check size is $1 million as far as it goes. A book that's $9.99 on Amazon Kindle is a easier first step in terms of a sell than $1 million check to start out with in terms of investments and stuff. So it does help in that way, people opening up, getting more open and stuff, but it also does open up paths. So since the book came out, we've been pushing it a lot, lots of opportunities. One thing it has done is opened up more of the ability to potentially go into more writing if I'd like. So I have an agent at this point that I'm signed with. We're doing international rights. I wouldn't have said this immediately after the book because I don't know when the next time, if ever, I'll ever write a book again. If you're an aspiring author, there is actually something to having a book already out there. If you aren't already someone who's famous and coming out of it and thus writing a book, you can open doors for yourself. And that also potentially opens the door to more traditional authorship as well.